Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Maps come with me. No. When do we start?
Where's my snare?
I forgot to look up an Eminem song
Turn my
for
head.
tonight.
I got no snare in my headphones. Where's my snare?
Nowhere. What do you want?
I just want my snare.
What are you talking about?
So I'm cleaning up my closet.
Oh, you're doing the Eminem this week?
I was ahead of it.
Okay, good, because I wasn't. I forgot to.
I was all over that shit.
Hey, this isn't a podcast where we talk about Eminem for more than 30 seconds. This is a podcast where we do pop culture reviews and news and sports and letters.
We do everything.
But not a lot of sports. Just a little sports. Mostly to appease you.
Well, I appreciate being appeased.
Better
I have
than
nothing else
being
to say. Just thank you for appeasing me.
Oh, goody. Hey, I have things.
Do you really?
I thought about it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Are we jumping right into the news, or are there some other...
No, just things I'm doing at the store.
Oh, okay. Good.
Hey, because, we've actually got far more listeners than I have people at the store, so deal with it. But
Well, no, I like that you want to share things about the store.
at least for the next couple of months, I'm going to be doing some month-long raffles.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm going to have one starting up in for June. It's going to be a treasury-sized edition of Batman #1. It's been hanging in the store for a little bit, and I kind of want it gone, so I'm going to raffle it off.
Really? How do you enter the raffle?
I'll just have it at the store.
Oh, so you
We'll
can
do tickets, yeah.
I can just show up and put my name in, and that's it?
Well, you got to pay for the tickets.
Oh, okay. How much?
It's not a free thing. It'll probably be something like, I don't know, there'll be at least dollar ones, and then something that's a bargain when I haven't thought about what it is yet.
Could I get a ticket with a purchase?
Yeah, ticket purchase.
No, but if I bought
No.
if I bought
This is a
minimum,
separate thing.
If I bought a minimum amount
No.
of okay.
Stop trying to swindle the system.
I'm not trying to swindle the system. I'm trying to close the loopholes in the system. I'm doing you a favor.
You buy a ticket. It's like $1. It's fine.
No, I don't. I'm ambivalent. I'm just trying to clarify for the listener.
And also, I've decided to try and, add a little extra tidbit to our Patreon.
Oh, ooh. Well, right now you can be just a member of the Dollar Club. You can be a Duke of the podcast. What's next?
I don't know, it was like a $20 tier that no one does.
Oh.
But I'm going to start doing top 5 comics to pick up in the week. It'll be exclusively on Patreon. It's going to be a thing that I'm going to write up.
Oh.
It's not going to be crazy long, but, and also not a set. I'll have it out by Wednesday evening at the latest. But I think that's the thing I'm going to do. Just add something to be a Patreon exclusive.
I'm not disappointed in that.
You're like, I don't have to do anything, so I like it.
Yep, good. I agree. I'm adjusting my microphone. Sounds like I'm in an echo chamber.
What are you trying to do here?
I just didn't like it. Now I like it.
Are you trying to swing it? Okay, cool. As long as you're happy.
It's all about me.
I don't know. That's all I had. That was my preamble stuff.
Do we have any construction updates?
No, it sucks and I hate it.
It's pretty straight. Have you met anybody? Like, are you on first name basis with anybody down there yet?
No, I mostly just walk through it. Everyone look out for me.
Have any of them come in and bought anything?
One.
Really?
Yeah.
Just one time or on a consistent basis?
He came in twice.
Okay, well, that's good. Did he spend money both times?
Yes.
See, it's not all bad.
Oh yeah, I'm getting rich off this.
Well, I mean, you're not getting poorer.
Probably, yeah. If people can't access the store easily, I am probably getting poorer.
No, they can totally access the store with a little bit of extra elbow grease. Just park at Lucky Garden.
I didn't put the theme in for this. Sorry. We didn't have an appropriate spot. I'm not doing it now. We'll just do the regular news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Dropping mere
I'm disappointed.
hour before we did this.
I'm disappointed
And what?
that you didn't use the construction theme.
Maybe I did. Maybe I did. I didn't. Just announced property that maybe someone will care about. It was announced a while ago that there was going to be another Spawn movie. You might remember 1997's Spawn.
Martin Sheen.
It's real crap.
It's not good.
In the late 90s, it looked edgy and, had all that cool CG we had never seen before.
What was the name of the bad guy?
I don't
Malfestro or something like that?
I don't know anything about Spawn. It's not my bag.
It's Seth MacFarlane, I know that.
Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane. Seth MacFarlane does something else.
Family Guy.
Yes. And The Orville.
Never seen it.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard really, really, really good things.
It's basically Next Generation, but, sometimes they remember they're supposed to be a comedy and make a joke.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. But in the titular role of Spawn, coming off of his last amazing comic book movie, Jamie Foxx.
He's going to play...
Spawn.
Wow.
Don't really care. Don't really care about the character. Don't really care about the property. Todd McFarlane mostly gets his money off of making toys now.
He's gonna be Al Simmons.
And Spawn is a thing that's still going. He still does every issue, but no one buys it. Or like very few people buy it. It's a small but dedicated fan base, and I can't imagine it's going to be a good movie.
There was a Spawn Batman crossover.
There was. I've sold it.
Let's see, 1997. Michael J. White played Spawn. Let's see, John Leguizamo was in it.
Do you remember that cape? That
Yes.
terrible cape that in the late 90s was like, whoa! but now it's
Malbolgia
like,
is the character, the bad guy's name, the evil character.
I'm glad you remembered that so well.
I googled it.
In other news, Solo did not have the best weekend ever, but not the worst weekend.
No, it wasn't.
The press needs to put it in context. It did 148 million worldwide, 83 domestically, which is the lowest opening for a Star Wars. But what the real problem is this is the most expensive Star Wars movie of all time because of the reshoots, where they had to reshoot like the entire movie.
With a lot of Ron Howard.
Yeah. So even that last go, the production might not have been. When you add it all up, it is the most expensive Star Wars movie ever made and has the lowest opening.
Yeah, I saw your tweet though about like Star Wars fatigue.
Yeah, it's all those dumb articles.
I liked your follow up. Remember, Attack of the Clones is still a top 10 movie.
Yeah, top 10 because I saw articles that were doing that. They're like the top 10 Star Wars movies. I'm like, fuck you.
Well, no, there's a couple of animated movies in
I
there.
think there's only one.
Are you gonna include the holiday specials movie?
No, because if it wasn't released in theaters. So yes, if you want to say all of the ones, yes, there was one released in theaters in like 2008.
So there's like 11.
Yeah, that one's no good though. Saying as a man who saw it once in theaters.
Attack of the Clones?
No, Clone Wars.
Oh.
I saw that. Didn't like it.
All right, that's fair. Would you put it
But
below?
I've heard the show is good.
Would you put it below Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones?
Probably not. It's probably better than those.
Okay, there you go.
Still doesn't make it good.
No,
I say, again, I haven't seen it in 10 years.
that's fair. Your deep thought just reminded me of something I watched last night that I thought was fascinating, and I want to watch the rest of the series. James Cameron's explains science fiction, or tells the story of science fiction. I can't remember what the exact title of it was.
I don't know what this
It was really, really good because they were talking last night about AI and the Terminator a lot, and they showed scenes from like all the Terminator movies. Then the Terminator Genesis scene showed up. I'm like, Zach would get angry, and your whole facial expression just changed.
I don't like that movie, man. The best part of that was the Creed trailer they played in front of it. I'm like, ooh, Creed trailer came out today.
I thought you were going to say the best part was when it ended.
It didn't end fast enough. I don't even remember how it ended. Oh yeah, Arnold became a T-1000. That's how it ended. Spoilers for that series that's now dead and doesn't matter.
Fair.
Because that way they were like, oh, now we can just shoot him a bunch and we don't have to worry about replacing him. Because we already got him old. How can we keep on replacing him with old Terminators? Answer, he'll be the same Terminator forever. Now he won't be. It's a real crap movie. Thing that was rumored and now is confirmed, Danny Boyle will be on for Bond 25. Supposedly Daniel Craig's last, contractually anyway.
For the, what's 25th anniversary? Like, what the 25th, it wouldn't be the 25th anniversary, but the 25th film. Is that like silver? Is that 50?
They've been going for over 50 years now, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's the 25th Bond
know.
film.
I don't know. No, most movies don't make it to the 25th movie, so I think that's its own new little...
But 25 movies, and they all don't really ever connect. Actually, like 2 or 3 of them connect.
They probably shouldn't. That's what we learned from Spectre.
They shouldn't connect?
No. Has there been a longer running movie series than 25?
No, I don't think so.
I'm sure there's like some small like underground thing.
Well,
What's
I mean,
Godzilla
unless you go
at?
into like the adult entertainment industry,
Yeah.
such and such volume 18, volume 22, does that count?
No.
Okay.
Godzilla's Toho, I think, has it beat actually there. I came up with one.
I will fact check the show. Longest running movie series. Let's see. Planet of the Apes has 8 films. Batman, 8 films. This is the top 12. Dear Lord. Harry Potter had 8 films. Nightmare on Elm Street had 9 films. Halloween, 10 films. There were 10 Halloween films. Advertisement. Pink Panther, there were 11 films. They're counting the MCU as 11 films so far.
Way more than that. They're up to like 19 or 18 or 19.
Let's see here.
Okay, Guinness World Records
Star
holds
Trek
Godzilla's number 1 with 32 films produced by Toho.
This is an outdated article. Carry On, 31 films. Never heard of it.
Yeah, no idea.
But the picture of it is a woman in her underwear riding a mule.
She's riding on.
Yep. All right, that's all I have.
And Godzilla's number 1. You know what that is? That's like a leather glove being like rubbed against an oboe or some kind of like string instrument.
Yeah, I could buy that.
That's what the famous Godzilla roar is. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah, so Danny Boyle. I like Danny Boyle. So glad you have an opinion on Danny Boyle.
I really don't have an opinion on Danny Boyle, I'm sorry to say.
Usually you're like, what do I know him from? You're like, you know what? Nothing. I'm not going to check. All you do is check things.
What was Danny Boyle in?
Sunshine.
Nope.
Now I need to look him up. 127 hours, 28 days later, Train Spotting.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, Train Spotting. Got it.
Slumdog Millionaire, that movie that's not as good as people like to say it is.
Jaho.
Is that your Slumdog Millionaire?
That's the song.
I also haven't seen that since it was in theaters. But yeah, so Danny Boyle's doing it. I like him. We'll see what happens. Speaking of people directing things, one that I'm actually really excited about. Gonna bury the lead a little here.
Okay.
Back a while ago, when Disney bought Star Wars, there was a rumor of 3 standalone movies.
Boba Fett.
Okay, yeah, one of them was Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But you know who was supposed to do it originally? It's okay, I'll just answer. You're not going to
Yeah.
get there. Josh Trank, director of 2015's Fantastic Four. And then he was fired. The same week that movie came out, Disney was like, no.
I can't imagine why. You know what was on TV earlier that I was scrolling through and saw and watched about 5 minutes of it and said, oh my God, this is garbage. I forgot how much garbage it was.
Daredevil.
No.
The Hulk.
No, I would watch those 2 movies before I watched this
Fantastic Four.
from 2005.
Ooh, yeah, it's rough.
I was like, oh, Captain America.
But still one of the best Fantastic Four movies.
It really, the bar is not very high.
No, it's low. That 94 when we watched the Corman one, that's the best.
I don't know if it's the best.
Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right.
Actually, it's The Incredibles. That's the best Fantastic Four movie.
It really is. I'm excited for Incredibles 2.
Hopefully it's good. I haven't seen that one again since like the time it came out. I think I rented it afterwards, and yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, so Josh Trank was supposed to do Boba Fett, and then that quietly went away. And then this week, a new director arose, a character that I care nothing for. He's a man with a cool helmet. He just fumbles about, gets his blaster cut in half, falls into a giant sandy anus when he has a jetpack on.
He survived.
He gets hit by a blind man.
Really, they
But-
took the badass that was Boba Fett from all like 10 minutes he was in the Empire Strikes Back and make him Keystone Cop in the Return of the Jedi.
His dad got decapitated.
I can understand why he might have some issues.
He used to be a British guy, and now he's a New Zealand guy. Anywho, Boba Fett, not a good character, but if you're going to have a not a good character, I guess that's a weird way to put it, but James Mangold's doing it.
Why do you think he's not a good character?
Because he doesn't do anything, and what he does is just bumble about.
Well, that's because he's not allowed to do any disintegrations.
Yeah, but I also hated the kid who played him in Attack of the Clones. Like, that kid can't laugh. Go back, there's a scene like where they're like, oh, Obi-Wan's dead, and the kid's just like, ha, 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 I'm a robot.
He pretty much is. He was a clone.
It's just a actor. A child actor. Don't put kids in movies, I guess.
Oh, okay. Settle down.
But James Mangold of Logan fame and The Wolverine. But yeah, James Mangold's sort of like, you know what? I like what he's about. I'll watch that.
I'd be excited to see it.
Like, you're real tepid on it.
Well, no, I mean,
Do
if it's
you
him,
like Boba Fett's?
if it's him coming out of the Sarlacc, I'm all in.
It won't be. I bet what it's going to be in reality is someone like kills that stupid New Zealand kid, like takes the mantle.
So it's like Boba Fett doing something that's not even closely related to anybody or anything we already know in the Star Wars universe.
He could be doing some drug runs for Jabba, bounty hunting all over the place.
It'd be cool to watch him bounty hunt a
I
little
don't think
bit.
a bounty hunter movie sounds like a bad idea. I just think everyone loves Boba Fett, but he's just a costume. He's a cool costume.
It's his dad's armor. Did he clean out and disinfect the helmet after his dad's head was in it?
I can't believe we're talking about Attack of the Clones so much this episode. But the scene that movie is missing is like he picks up his father's decapitated like helmet and he like puts it up against his own head. All I wanted was for that like the severed head of his father to drop out on his lap, like, you know, eyes bugging out, tongue just laying out to the side.
Maybe it melted his head into the helmet. The heat of the lightsaber cauterized the head into the...
Look, sometimes
helmet.
lightsabers cauterize, sometimes they don't. We've seen that.
That's true.
Real inconsistent. I guess it was just that one time there was a bloody arm. Alien blood? There we go. Fixed it. Star Wars, but I will watch a James Mangold, like any kind of action movie after Logan. Do you want some good news? I think I just gave you some good news.
Yes, I want more
Actually, I
good
think
news.
I've given you mostly good news, except for maybe the solo news. This is the best news of the week.
Tell me. I can't wait. Tell
I was
me.
gonna say, what, pray tell, would you consider to be the worst play on American pop culture?
The worst blight?
Yeah.
On American pop culture. Social media.
Now,
I need more like context.
Michael Bay.
Okay, see, that was way too... That was... No.
It's Transformers, okay? It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. It has been removed from the production slate. That whole stupid writer's room they put together to make like 13 more Transformers movies after the bomb of Transformers
That was
5.
a totally unfair question, by the way.
I don't think it was.
The biggest blight on on pop culture?
Transformers.
No, it's not. I would not say it's the biggest blight.
What would you say is the worst?
I don't know. Poor use of social media.
It's definitely Transformers.
Transformers is not the worst thing in pop culture. The Human Centipede, dabbing.
At least Human Centipede
Fidget
they tried
spinners.
something. It's not pop culture. Those are just things now.
Yeah, but they were part of pop culture. Pogs,
They were fine. They were paperboard. I had a slammer. Is that what
Magic
those were
the
called?
Gathering.
No, people love Magic.
I do like Magic. I used to play when I was younger.
Was it called a slammer in Pogs?
Yeah, it was a
Okay,
slammer.
I don't remember.
You'd just stack up Pogs and you'd slam down, and then
Yeah, so after five
it was marbles for lazy kids with no coordination.
after 5 Michael Bay Transformers movies, there's still going to be like the solo prequel Bumblebee movie coming out because that's done. Transformers 7 was removed from the release slate. Good job, everyone. You didn't go out and see it, and you won for America and the global
proud-
market. Actually, you know what? Mostly thank you, China, because you were the real reason these movies kept going.
It's a proud day. It's a proud, proud day.
Do we have Chinese listeners? Right in. Speaking of things being canceled,
Not this show.
no. No, I just spent a bunch of money on new equipment. No, we are getting our money's worth out of this.
So 100 episodes.
Oh, at least. I just want to mention this because this is just a result of poor business practice. Marvel has officially canceled.
This podcast?
Yeah, a shot for family friendly, and then I failed. Marvel has canceled the ongoing cable series that came back with whatever one of their last initiatives was. I've honestly lost track. But here's why it was canceled, and I don't blame them. Every single arc, they kept on losing the creative team. So I kept on going, well, maybe the next. They only did like maybe 4 or 5. Well, it's not good right now, but maybe like, new creatives will come and maybe that'll be good. And then it was a mess. I'm like, well, maybe the next one, that was a mess. And no one ever got their footing on this character. And I can't believe this book lasted as long as it did. It's been crap.
But now it's no longer.
Yeah, that's how you lose people, by just spewing out things like, oh, this is a popular character. He's carried his own book before, and just not allowing people to get their own real footing on it. And there's some decent creatives, and I know the reason they lost the first guy is because he ended up getting a deal at DC. He's like, all right, got these scripts and I'm out. But after that, boy, this book had no chance.
There's a reason why Batman needs Robin. Robin doesn't need Batman. It's that same thing. Secondary characters need the main character, not vice versa.
He's the third oldest DC character ongoing.
Yeah, but I mean, if it gets stale, if it gets stagnant, if it's not working, put it on the shelf. Make people nostalgic for it, and then
Dick is never stagnant.
best ass in the DC universe.
Wait, I just wanted to bring that up because that was just, of course. Speaking of comics, Marvel Comics, Beckett from Solo, a Star Wars story. His backstory will be revealed in a prequel comic. I don't know. These have been real 50-50. Some of them have been amazing. Some of them have been the worst thing ever.
Flip a coin.
I know, that's kind of the problem. When they said that, I was like, I know it's going to go somewhere because every character in Star Wars has cheeseburger?
Misa has?
Oh, God, you made it worse.
I
You took that
found
cat
a way.
and made it Jar
I
Jar.
found a way.
You go on any of these, like, Wikipedia, they have like a 27-page entry for like a background character, but still, I know they had to do it somewhere, but I'm like, we'll see, I guess. Some of them are really good. Most of the Star Wars comics are good, but sometimes when they do these prequel ones, they fall apart. Like, the story of how did C-3PO get his red arm is hot garbage.
I feel like, is there any other kind? Is cold garbage any better than hot garbage?
Hot garbage smells worse.
Yeah, but if you're gonna go in, go whole hog.
So we'll see. I don't know if we really need a Beckett backstory. He's a worse Han Solo end.
He's a smuggler.
But from there, we're going to go on to BMB News. Brian Michael Bendis.
What is Bendis up to now?
We're gabbing about Bendis. It's this week's news about Brian Michael Bendis.
Bendis.
Usually get more excited about this. Bendis kind of, throwing his weight around, really swinging his man meat this week.
Did you say man meat?
Yeah, you were looking at your phone. I was trying to get your attention.
No, you got my attention. I didn't know that you were aware of BMB's man meat swinging.
Oh, boy, there were so many articles written about him this week, a ton, because his Man of Steel miniseries is debuting. The last time, the first Man of Steel series was, redefined Superman. Like, the origin about Superman, that's the Man of Steel miniseries. John Byrne wrote and did the art on that. So having the series even be called Man of Steel, it's like, hey, that's what we're kind of doing. We're kind of putting out the stake that we're changing the game. And a lot of people have been worried. He's like, hey, guess what? A lot of big-time Superman fans will apologizing to me for being so worried. He's like, and don't worry, we
Wow.
have plans about things.
Wow. Plans on things and stuff.
Yeah, I read the first issue today. Overall, I liked it. Like, he had a good grasp of the character.
I'm just trying to think of other ways to say man meat. Flesh hammer.
Ooh, let's move on from there. That's the end of that. It's a short news week. There was a holiday weekend. People weren't exactly pumping out news. So from there, we're moving on to Jared's sports reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
Flesh hammer.
You already said it once.
It
That was enough.
kind of rolls off the tongue.
No, it doesn't. It does the opposite.
You know what rolls? You know what rolls out of the?
It really recoils the gut.
You know what rolls? Luggage. And that luggage belongs to the Boston Celtics as their season is over after losing to the Cavs in 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then your prediction, you were wrong, wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong on every level. It's like every team in the finals is the opposite of my prediction.
Because Houston was about to bitch slap Golden State, and then Golden State dropped their flesh hammers all over
Stop saying that.
their man meat.
I regret having you on this show.
No, you don't. No, then the Golden State just said, oh yeah, we're Golden State. We're going to go win now. And they absolutely stomped all over the Rockets and broke their hearts. Not 1 game in a row, but 2 games in a row.
Also, why did the Celtics need to get their luggage? They were at home.
Well, no, they're rolling out of the locker room. They clean their lockers out. And they roll their luggage out for... You just don't leave your stuff in the locker in the off season.
The guys playing hockey can grab it. What do I know?
There's different locker rooms for different teams. You think the Bruins and the Celtics share a locker room?
Seems economical. They share a playing space.
Yes, but they don't share a locker room. There are multiple locker rooms in that facility.
Could use it for something better.
Something beller?
Yeah, you heard me.
Yeah.
I haven't even drank anything. I've had like a sip.
Yeah, that warm whiskey on a hot summer night.
I know. I kind of wish I had a beer.
I know you do.
But I'd ask you for one, but...
I got a delicious
I'll pass.
can of water right here.
All right, what else is happening in sports aside from me being deeply wrong about the NBA Finals? Thank God I didn't bet on anything.
Will Power won the Indy 500. Let's see. Kyle Busch won the Coca-Cola 600, and one of the biggest days of racing all year long over Memorial Day weekend. Tiger Woods will be playing in an upcoming golf tournament, so that's a thing. And I'm trying to think of what else is really... Oh, the Red Sox also have the most wins in Major League Baseball. So outside of that, a whole ton of things going on.
Most wins this season? Is that what you're saying?
So far, yes.
Or you're saying like of all time?
No, just they lead the league in wins this
season. Then maybe clarify.
At this point, yes.
Who has the most wins of all time?
Which franchise has won the most?
Yeah, in baseball.
That's a damn good question.
Let me guess.
Without looking, I'm going to say it's either, well, you got to think about how old the teams are. It's either going to be Boston or New York. It's going to be one of those 2 teams. I was going to say Atlanta, but Atlanta's too young of a team, even though they had that long run. Let me see. Do you want to include postseason as well? Because that kind of skews it. Most regular season wins.
Postseason's still a win.
It's true.
They're winning those games because they won those other games. You think those would count for them in this made-up scale we just looked into?
What is the
Oreos?
Let's see. Here we go. Regular season. The New York Yankees have won 10,207 games and lost 7,735. Number 2, the San Francisco Giants. The Boston Red Sox are only number 5 on the list. They don't even have 10,000 wins in the regular season.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, all that losing they did for a long time.
That's true. Let's see.
How close are they to 10,000?
They're at 9,446, so some ways away.
So a few more years. Guys will get there.
The Giants and the Dodgers both started in 1883, but the Dodgers also started, I think both the San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Dodgers both started in New York. The Giants were the Gothams, and the Dodgers were the Brooklyn Dodgers. So there you go.
There. All right, is there any more newer sports news?
No, none really off the top of my head.
No hockey news?
Oh, yeah, the Las Vegas Knights are 3 wins away from winning the Stanley Cup in their first ever season. They lead the Capitals 1-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Any more NFL controversy?
No, everyone's just generally upset with the new NFL policy on the anthem.
Didn't I see there's like a petition going around, like they're going to try and get like 25% of players not to play?
Fake.
Was it?
I don't believe it.
I believe they were going to try.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
I also agree with that. I just heard that they were going to attempt to get like 25% of players to not play to get like Kaepernick signed again or something like that.
Yeah, because there's a collusion lawsuit against the league, but
there's enough collusion right now.
And that's Jared Sports Reports.
From there, we go on to a movie review. That's the thing we do. We talk movies and comics and rarely TV, but this time it's a movie.
Pop culture.
I'm the best there is at what I do. But what I do best isn't very nice.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
As we do with each and every movie, we're going to start with non-spoilers before getting into spoilers. And a thing I want to say up front, because I was a big purveyor of poo-pooing the production.
Yes.
It's fun.
It is.
I enjoyed it.
It's not a bad movie. It's a good popcorn movie.
It's not. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
As I described it afterwards, it felt like Ocean's 11 in space. It is a space heist movie.
But not Ocean's 12.
Or 13.
Wasn't Pacino in that one?
I can't remember.
He's not in this one, I can tell you that. But yeah, so up front, for the movie not having the best weekend, it's fun. Go see it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
All right, review over.
Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, if you go in, like we talked about, with the right mindset, that you're not going in to see a Star Wars saga movie, you're not going in I wouldn't even when I went in, I was like, I'm not even gonna try and compare it to Rogue One. I just want it's a Star Wars side story.
Because I'm
That's
gonna
all.
do it. All right, we have to come up with a definitive list right now. Best Star Wars movie: Empire Strikes Back,
Yes,
followed by Star Wars: The First Star Wars,
the original Star Wars. Then this is where the
Force Awakens. I'm saying it now. Wait,
gonna
no,
say-
I meant to say Last Jedi. Last
Jedi, Return
Force
of the
Awakens.
Jedi,
Nah,
Force Awakens.
Here's-
Force Awakens could be right ahead of Last Jedi.
Force Awakens, I think, is more solid back to front. Return of the Jedi, I love the opening on Tatooine, and I love all the stuff on the Death Star, and that's about it. The middle can kind of
The second act when they're on Endor, the Forest Moon of Endor, doesn't really do it for you.
no, and most of the stuff at the end on Endor, ending on Endor. I do love it at the end when all of the Ewoks just murder stormtroopers and eat their flesh.
I was watching Return of the Jedi over the weekend. Luke straight up murders a stormtrooper when he throws him off that speeder into a tree.
Oh yeah, he's very dead. All right, so what do we have? Empire, Star Wars, Last
Empire,
Jedi,
Empire,
Force
New Hope,
Awakens, The Other
Last Jedi, Force
Jedi.
Awakens.
I don't like that there are two movies
Jedi.
that end in Jedi now.
Yeah.
The Other Jedi.
Then you got to go.
Han Solo.
You're gonna put it ahead of. You're gonna put it ahead of
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
I am.
I'm not, and this is why.
No, we have to do it together.
I'm gonna argue. I'm gonna argue my point here. My one thing that made it hard to watch Solo, the main characters, I wasn't ever worried about what was gonna happen to them.
Rogue One had the opposite. You're like, oh, they're all dead.
Well,
Spoilers.
they all died, but like, where are they gonna go with these characters? What are these characters gonna do? Oh, they're all dead. But like, anytime that Han or Chewie were in peril, I'm like, they're gonna come out okay.
Could have been a different Wookiee. That would have been funny if there was just a different, like, okay, Chewbacca too.
But that's why I would put Rogue One ahead of Solo. Solo's fun. Rogue One's kind of dark, but I never really got that 110% emotional investment into Han and Chewie because I wasn't worried about how things were going to end. I know that at the end of the movie, Han's going to have the Millennium Falcon, Chewie's going to be by his side, and both of them are going to come out relatively unharmed.
You know what I'm going to give? I'll agree with you that Rogue One is better, but only for one reason, and none of the reasons you said.
Okay.
That, like, 45 seconds of Darth Vader just murdering everyone.
That was straight up
That's
gangster.
the best scene in what? Okay, best scene in Star Wars. We're moving on from that, and then 3-1-2. They all suck.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Definitive Star Wars ranking. If you disagree, you're wrong. I will.
Don't at me either.
They won't.
Wow.
The beginning of the movie, and this isn't gonna so mild spoilers going into this, but I didn't like the beginning of the movie very much. It just felt like it was a little too like quick. Like we had a bunch of really fast paced scenes to get Han Solo to being a smuggler. We go from like he's on the run and now he's part of the Empire. Now he's not part of the Empire. Now he's a smuggler. What happened? That was like 5 minutes, really fast.
Yeah, that really snapped around. I wanted to see more of Corellia.
I could have had
I wanted to see the shipyards.
I could have had a whole movie of him being part of the Empire. You could have done that for a movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would have been an interesting to kind of see like the point of view of the Empire because we haven't had a movie like that.
No, we have. It was interesting though to like. I was like, why is the Empire here? Why are the Empire just?
I've made a better movie
killing
now.
these people?
Damn it!
See, told you, Rogue One, just ahead of Solo.
But yes, I didn't really like the beginning very much. I got a little bit worried because it was so sporadic. It's like, is this the movie? Is it just going to be like scene to scene to scene to scene?
No, it settled down.
There's a lot of what holds this movie together for me is I like most of the actors in this. I like the kid who plays Han. All those like concerned things about him not being any good as an actor, I think seem to be unfounded because I thought he did a really good job. He's not doing a Harrison Ford impression, but he's still kind of getting the essence of the character. The only time I kind of wanted him to do an impression, think of like that scene in the first Star Wars where the stormtroopers run to the Falcon before it takes off of Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
And Han Solo's shooting his blaster. He has like a loosey-goosey grip. It's just flopping all over the place. This kid had a solid grip. I'm like, I want to see a little more loosey-goosey.
I want some more.
I want a totally untethered blaster in your hand, waving around
I want
like
some
you
more
have
seat
no
of the
control
pants.
of your wrist.
Some more seat of the pants, Han Solo. He had a pretty solid grip when he shot Greedo first.
Yeah. But the characters all together for me. Donald Glover is great. Paul Bettany, for the 2 scenes he's in the movie as the villain, I think he's good. I thought he did a good job of being like unhinged, but also a guy who's like, all right, we're having fun. We're being evil.
He went from,
Also, I'm crazy.
He would go 0 to 100 real quick.
I was really surprised because that was, I can't remember the actor who was originally supposed to be that role because that got recast for the reshoots. He was only in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
feels weird they couldn't find time to get the guy in 2 scenes, but what do I know about scheduling in Hollyweird? Nothing.
Ooh.
I know nothing.
No, you don't. That's why you're sitting in your basement doing a comic book podcast.
Donald Glover's great. He does a good Lando.
Yeah, you said that already.
No, I was going to go to, I know, but I didn't say the thing that was really important. They make fun of Lando a lot.
Yes.
They make fun of his capes.
That's a custom piece.
He has a whole room for capes. He has one whole cape room.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He's doing like an autobiography, The Lando Files.
I love that they show this in a bunch of previews too, like how he mispronounces Han's name. Han.
Yeah, because it happened in the original trilogy.
I love it. I love that stuff. That's such a small thing, but they still brought it back of him calling him Han. On the other hand, what did you think of the droid?
I think the one thing that you're going to get with the Star Wars story movies is you're going to get a droid that's going to be over the top in some way, shape, or form.
I did not like that droid. No, that droid did nothing for me. It was a little, I guess, had a little too much personality, and something that I thought was kind of weird because they like did it all the promotional stuff. I don't remember if we even talked about it on this, but it was like Lando's pansexual, and in that universe, it means that he's doing that droid. It's one of it's one of those things where it almost feels like Disney's trying to play it safe. They're like, look at how progressive we are. We have a pansexual character who's banging a droid, but then if you don't show anything like that in the movie, does it really count? It's like that, and I know it's supplementary material more like the whole like Dumbledore's gay. Like, was he? That wasn't part of the story in any way, shape, or form.
It's not the first time that robots have been implicated with human sex.
I mean, we got,
Happy birthday, Polly.
Yeah. I was going to say in the real world, there are already sex robots, but
Happy birthday, Polly.
Yeah, that's the weirdest one. It's one of those things, like, I feel like they're trying to be, look at how progressive we are, but then if you don't actually do things, I kind of hate when people try to, like, explain things in supplementary material or, like, out of context. Like, if you tweet a director a question, like, oh, well, it's this, this, and this, because this is what I intended. If it's not on the screen, I don't necessarily buy it.
Show, don't tell.
Well, don't tell in another format, I guess.
That's also fair.
So, yeah, the whole, like, Lando's pansexual, and there's a big outcry, and then there's nothing to actually show you that.
There's no backup.
On the other hand, I think Lando would have sex with anything.
I wouldn't put it past it.
Including that very annoying droid. Did you like the droid?
I didn't hate the droid.
I hated the droid.
I mean,
the droid is my low point of the movie.
I like that they moved the droid out of the way, and the droid did serve a story purpose, so I didn't hate it.
That'll be a spoiler item.
Yes.
I like the kid who's playing Chewbacca, that like 7 foot tall kid. All the Chewies, whenever Chewie's on the screen, isn't that, for me, that's one of those like staples when you see certain things. Like if you see the Falcon or if you see Chewie, those are the things that bring you back to childhood. If I see Harrison Ford, I just see, Harrison Ford. But if you see those things that only exist in Star Wars, that's where I'm like, oh man, I'm 8 years old again.
I loved it.
I liked
Bring
him
me
a
back
lot.
in time.
Amelia Clarke doesn't do a lot. I think I liked her costume design more than I liked her character. Her costume design is very like 1930s, 1940s femme fatale costume design. She doesn't get a lot to do.
No, she doesn't get a lot. I like Woody Harrelson a lot.
He's just Woody Harrelson. He was Woody Harrelsing it all over the place.
But it was fine.
Yeah, he's good at what he does.
It worked out well.
I mean, aside from Harrison Ford, I think he smokes the second most amount of weed in Hollywood.
Even more than Cheech and Chong?
I think so. From, rumors, and also not rumors. Yeah, Woody Harrelson is high constantly.
Matthew McConaughey?
It's not, I don't know. Does he smoke weed?
No, probably not. Well,
I mean, he seems like he would, but, not to stereotype.
No, I mean, it's recreational.
All right.
That's such a great movie.
But yeah, so we need to have someone who's constantly high on weed in a Star Wars movie. Harrison Ford wasn't there, so we got Harrelson.
Also, in the original trilogy, it wasn't just Harrison. It was also Carrie. It was Mark.
I don't know how much into weed Carrie Fisher was.
They were all on substances.
I can't tell if Amelia Clarke's a good actor or not. Whenever I see her in anything that isn't Game of Thrones, I'm like, are you good? You were in Terminator Genesis.
Oh, it came out and it reared its ugly head.
You weren't good in that, and you don't do much in this movie. I like your costumes more than I like you. Without the spoilers, because there are a bunch of like callbacky things to other movies and Star Wars and but I think the thing that I liked the most, which I could also see some people not liking, is the musical cues.
I was to say that we were going to talk about the musical cues.
And some of them are variations, which is nice. So it's not like a straight, just we're pulling it from John Williams, but there's a variation on that, which really works situationally for me. It was like, oh yeah, this is like that other thing. And yes, it does break tradition. There's no C-3PO in R2, but who the hell cares?
I don't.
Less 3PO, the better.
It was fine. I mean,
okay, he had a good line in Last Jedi, but it's been a while since I've cared for him.
Yeah. I mean, he was kind of more of really too much of the comic relief in the prequels.
Anthony Daniels is in this movie.
Yes, he is. He's one of the
I didn't spot it personally. I just saw it later on the internet.
Yeah, he's one of the prison escapees.
Yeah.
The mine escapees.
Yeah, with the Wookiees.
Yes.
Visually, the movie looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it's your standard fare. It's not.
Actually, I like it more than a lot because they were definitely on location for a lot of this stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of practical.
A lot of stuff that isn't on a soundstage, which looks nice. It's a good change of pace.
I like the space stuff. I love how clean the Falcon looked. It's like for me, you see the Falcon is like clean. Lando's got it, and then like
Han just ruins it.
Han bachelors the shit out of it.
And this movie's only a couple of years away from New Hope, and he just doesn't clean it for like 3 years.
The thing is white and pristine, and then when Han gets it, he just dirty.
Speaking of the Cape Room, there was a scene that George Lucas was on set for where he asked Ron Howard to make a change, and he did it.
Really?
In the Cape Room, because there's a Cape Room. Han goes and he hangs up one of the capes, and George is like, Han Solo would just kind of throw it down. So Ron Howard's like, okay, new take! And he just tosses it.
Yeah.
And that's why this ship is so damn dirty.
He just throws
because he's just throwing crap around.
He totally bachelors the shit out of it.
It takes him 3 years to ruin that ship.
That's not bad. That's a moderate pace. Like he keeps it clean for the most part.
No, he doesn't. Chewie sheds everywhere. I don't know why it went from white to brown, but we've never seen a toilet on that ship. That's all I'm saying.
Can we just go to the spoilers now?
Spoilers. Oh yeah, wait, hang on. Review.
Patent review system of
see it in theaters,
red box it,
or no. I say see it in theaters.
I would agree. It's fun. I was talking about this with someone. It's a Star Wars movie, and they're meant to be seen on the big screen.
Look, this movie isn't doing that great. We got to make sure Disney gets their bank. Save the mouse. Hashtag.
Yeah, Disney's really hurting.
And from there, we'll do spoilers.
Look out! There's spoilers ahead!
Hate that droid, but I think it's funny that they killed it and now it's part of the Falcon, and that's why C-3PO says it has like a weird dialect.
I like it. I mean, I think it was also like...
That was one of those things that didn't really need an origin, but I'll roll with it. I'm so happy when that thing died.
Hold on.
Do I have a tick?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have my knife. Do you have a knife?
I have my keys.
It's about to die.
Kill it. Kill it. I just saved your life.
Those ones really aren't diseased.
I just saved your life.
Pretty dead now.
Yeah.
All the origins of things. Some of them work, some of them don't. One of them I came around on a little bit.
Which one is that?
Han Solo doesn't have a surname.
Yeah, when it happened in the movie, you groaned audibly.
Yeah, but they're like, you don't have a name and you're by yourself, so you're Han Solo. What happens if one other person comes through who doesn't have a surname? He's like, you're gonna be Dexter by yourself.
That was pretty clever. How long did you think of that?
I went with Dexter Jetster, that weird diner owner from episode 2.
Yes, but like, how long did it take you to come up with that joke?
With by yourself?
Yeah.
I was struggling. I was panicking. Like, what's another way I could say Solo?
Alone?
Darth No Friends.
Is that your nickname? I liked how they actually finally they showed how the Falcon went from being like a solid front end to like having a divot in the front end.
Yeah, he just crashes it.
Yeah.
I wasn't done with that though. I think because this is a space western, I think this is supposed to be mirroring the Dollars trilogy and Han's, the man with no name.
Okay.
Except really his name was Blondie, which is a more mysterious or less mysterious than the man with no name. Blondie is a crappy name. But I think that's what that was. I think they were going to, reference westerns of the past. Or don't support my theory. F*** you.
When is he going to put the boilerplate underneath his chest?
What do we get origins of? We get the origin of the blaster. Who cares? We see him win the Falcon, but not with the dice, which was surprising.
Yeah, the dice were really heavy in the first part of the movie, and then they kind of went away.
And then he just has them. He's like, oh, they're going to my new ship.
Yes.
We get a call back to, I love you. I know, except this time it's, I hate you.
Yes, that was also good.
That was a good beat.
I also liked that it really felt like it was the seeds of the rebellion were being planted and started.
Yeah, because apparently he's financing them.
Well, I didn't really finance them. He gave them all the coaxium.
Which was worth some bank.
A lot of
Surprised
bank.
you remember the name. I did not remember the name.
Thank you very much.
I did not care about that at all. Did you? I did not care what they were smuggling.
Probably because at that point they weren't going to say we're going to smuggle spice. They were not going to allow them to be drug smugglers in this movie.
Oh, they're getting there. I think that's where we're going.
I think the second one's going to be dark. It has to be dark.
That's the thing. This movie does have potential for not necessarily a sequel for this, but I think it should, because right now we still have Han
going to meet Jabba.
You know what? It has to. boy, it's a weird movie to reference, but I think it needs to be a little bit next time. Star Trek Into Darkness. Weird movie to reference, I know, but stick with me here.
I follow you.
Because right now we have Han, who's kind of like everything was worked out, and he's a little bit rough around the edges, as they say in the movie, but he's not like full scoundrel. He's still a bit of an idealist.
Yeah,
I think he needs to have a fall from grace to get him to be like a real shit guy who's angry at everything, and then we get to see him come back around again in New Hope. There needs to be so I think we need to have a bit of that, like Star Trek Into Darkness, where Kirk is all cocky. He's like, I've never lost a man. And then he loses like everyone. He's like, oh, I'm bad at this now.
I suck.
Yeah, so I think we got to have a little bit of a theme.
Well, I think you're going to get that with
Kira.
I think that her...
Because he's still kind of a romantic, but I think she needs to screw with him hard.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Because she's evil and killed Paul Bettany.
And apparently a lot of other people.
Yeah. I like how she just like sells it. She's like, you know what? I've done things. You wouldn't understand. She's like, I gotta double down.
Yeah. I have an opportunity here. I have an out, maybe not.
Or Crime Lord.
Crime Lord. Total Crime Lord. I think at some point Han probably ends up having to kill her.
Or that stupid theory that's around the internet where like maybe she's Rey's mother and then Han was really like the father she never had. Or not every woman in Star Wars has to be Rey's mother.
True. Although where it fits in the timeline, it's plausible-ish.
No.
Right before New Hope. No, she wouldn't be.
She's way too young.
Way too young.
Yeah.
But there has to be some sort of explanation at some point as how the Falcon ends up on Jakku.
I don't think there does. He just said that someone stole it from him. It's all the explanation I needed.
Han, you need to do better. Put a club on it. LoJack that thing.
Everyone else knows how to track this ship. You can't?
Apparently
it's been tracked multiple times.
Apparently he was tracking it when they found him when he was on that big freighter.
Yeah, but everyone else just threw a tracker on it and followed it. He just like picked up its energy signature, so he sucks at this.
You would think that Han would have left something on there somewhere.
And then the big spoiler.
This one really caught me off guard.
Yeah, me too.
Well hidden secret.
Yeah, Darth Maul's alive again.
Which falls in line with canon.
Yeah, if you've watched the Clone Wars and Rebels, which I haven't.
I haven't either, but I knew he was alive.
Yeah, he had spider legs, then he got regular old robot legs.
Well, he crawled himself out of that pit and then like developed robotic bottom legs from scraps.
Yeah, something like that. And then unnecessarily in this movie, he just ignites his lightsaber like over a hologram. Like, yeah, no, I get it. I know who you are. It's the red tattooed face with a bunch of spikes coming out of your head. I got there all on my own.
It was Ray Park.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't the voice though.
No,
it was a different person.
He didn't do the voice in the first one either. That was Peter Serafinowicz.
And it wasn't Serafinowicz in this one. It was somebody else.
It's the guy who does it in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Which I'm of two minds of this. One, it makes the supplementary material more legitimate. On the other hand, we know he dies. His death has been shown, which happens like a couple years later, like the hands of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But that feels like a weird thing to leave hanging in these movies. And I also think that this means that the standalone movies aren't going to be as standalone, because even though Darth Maul pops up in this movie, he can't go toe-to-toe with Han Solo. Han Solo has never seen the Force.
No, he hasn't.
So his next appearance is going to have to be somewhere else, because he can't tie back into Han's story.
No.
But then what do? You have this reincarnated character that no one knows how it happened, and then he dies. I guess people who are hardcore fans know, but...
Wouldn't it be nice to be so strong with the Force that someone could bisect you and you'd be okay?
But because you can't kill him now. My thought was, just recreate the scene from Rebels.
I think that lays more credence to a standalone Obi-Wan movie.
I think you could, just recreate the scene. You don't need to change anything. It's like a 2-minute scene.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can find a way to work it. But yeah, so that kind of opens up some weird doors, which one I like, because, I like having the supplementary stuff be legitimized, because I don't watch any of the shows, but I read most of the books. Some of them I've skipped because they've been hot crap.
Hot crap?
Cold crap.
Same with
everything
hot
bad is hot.
So a hot meal is bad?
It's a warm day today.
I don't know.
I don't know what the Crimson Dawn is.
Obviously
some kind of evil thing,
some sort of crime syndicate well, I don't think it has to do with the Empire. I think that Maul is totally out 110% for revenge against Sidious.
Yeah, I guess, again, haven't seen it, but I guess when he comes back, he goes to Palpatine, he's like, let me be your apprentice again. He's like, no, I don't need you. I have this old man now.
Well, that sucks.
It's Christopher Lee. He's like, I know.
He's like, but. He's like, he has legs and you don't.
Yeah. He was in 7 Dracula movies. Were you?
No.
Do you know what happens when you get struck by lightning? Get out of here. Because I have lightning powers.
Be gone with you.
Oh, you didn't get there. I was doing because he was Toad in X-Men.
Yes, I understand.
You didn't react. I thought
no, it fell flat with me.
I thought I got to a place.
It fell flat with me.
Because Palpatine has lightning. He's like, pew pew.
So does the Storm.
Yeah. How does Lando have sex with that droid?
There was a great joke in that movie there. Oh my God. I'm going to hit your switch. Good luck finding it.
There we go. Oh, and, one solid middle finger to George Lucas in that movie.
Which one?
At the end with Woody Harrelson.
Oh, yeah.
Where Han just
shoots him.
Yeah, blows shoots him in the heart. It's like, Han shot first. What up? You know why? Because I want to stay alive.
Because Han's always shot first.
Yeah. I thought that was a bit of a middle finger to Lucas in the special editions.
A little bit, yeah.
Commander's like, just throw his cape on the ground.
Throw his cape on the ground. And he should shoot first.
No, it's the opposite of what he believes.
Have Beckett shoot first. I need more droid.
I think that's about it for that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It wasn't, like you said, it wasn't groundbreaking. If you go in with the right mindset, that you're not going to see a saga movie, you're going to go see just a Star Wars movie. You're going to see a fun space opera type movie with characters you're familiar with. It's fine. Yeah. Totally acceptable.
Yeah, I think it's worth a good old little romp. Oh, and the Kessel Run is stupid. Apparently just, fly and miss some rocks and then awaken a giant space octopus.
And throw it into a gravity well.
Yeah, and then get away with no real issue.
And then use the space version of NOS.
Yeah, I do like that Chewie's like, it's 12 if you round down. That was a good line.
It was. I just did the Kessel Run 12 parsecs.
Does Chewie have a life debt with him? That was always a thing, and now it's apparently not, because Chewie was just eating people in a hole.
I think it's a life debt.
But Han to get him out, like Chewie did most of the heavy lifting, literally.
Yeah, and how is Han not broken in half?
Also, Chewie eats people. He was in that hole eating people.
He was going to eat those porgs.
They're not people. They're puffin chickens.
They look delicious.
Oh, yeah, they do. But yeah, so that's the thing, though. Chewie eats people. Oh, we get to see him finally rip the arms off of someone.
That was awesome.
It's a good little wink and a nod.
Back. Also, the holographic chess.
Yeah, we've seen that a bunch now.
Yes.
I don't care anymore. I used to play Star Wars chess on MS-DOS, which was actually fantastic.
We talked about this, MS-DOS, Microsoft Digital Operating System.
Yeah, but every time there's like a different permutation for every single thing. So like whatever character would kill another character, they would go into like a little animatic of how they killed them.
Yes.
It was kind of fantastic. I'm sure it's really boring by today's standards. I'm not going back.
You're
I'll live with happy memories.
It's better that way. Don't go back in time.
Yeah, so I guess that's it for Solo, unless you have anything else.
No, not really. The Wookiees kicked ass coming out of the spice mines of Kessel. And
slavery, man.
Woo! That was about it, really.
Yeah, it's fine. It's enjoyable. I had fun.
Yeah.
I guess from there we move on to letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
If you could have any guest on this show, who would it be?
Ooh.
I'm going to say living. Let's keep it in the realm of...
A living guest on this show? I think it would be a lot of fun to have, like, Kevin Smith on the show. That would be cool. Who else would be fun to have on the show?
You're going big. Stan Lee himself. Stan, what's going on?
Excelsior. He was on the show today. Who
I'm
else
trapped
would be?
in my house.
Well, we've already had some pretty good names on the show. We need Brian Michael Bendis on this show.
I reached out, did not get a response.
Well, there's still time. You don't just ask once.
Oh, I should send him multiple emails?
Well, don't stalk him. Don't go over the top crazy.
I thought it'd be funny. No response. That's fine. I accept that. That's how most interview requests go. I just don't get a response. I'm like, yeah, fine. I'm not offended by it.
I'm trying to think of who else would be cool to have on.
We have a couple of potentials, hopefully, down the road sometimes, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Lawson was good. We've had Kevin Eastman on the show.
He's been the biggest name so far.
Steve Levine's been on the show. A lot of turtles, a lot of turtle names on the show.
I know, we got to expand. I guess me, more specifically.
I guess really we just need to have Peter on and we'll have all the major Turtles characters.
Yeah, he won't do it.
No, I know he won't.
It's like, I'm rich and why?
Yeah. Who are you to come into my world? I'm trying to think of who else. It'd be cool if we got like some B, Bruce Campbell, some sort of B-list, like king of B actors.
Yeah, but then you'd have to watch all of Ash versus Evil Dead.
I mean, if
it's worthwhile.
If I got to talk to Bruce Campbell, yeah, absolutely.
Watch all of his famous movies, the Evil Dead ones, his Spider-Man cameos, and I think he was in Burn Notice for like 7 years. Is that a thing?
I think so. Yes, he was on USA or TNT, whatever it was.
Oh, I know.
You know nothing.
Yeah, watch Bubba Hotep or My Name is Bruce.
Bubba Hotep was a good movie.
It's entertaining.
Doesn't suck.
Oh, there's a lot of sucking souls out of assholes. Literally, that's the movie.
You never answered the question. I said Kevin Smith.
Oh,
He'd be a perfect mix of pop culture and comics.
I don't want to go for some of the bigger guys right now in comics. Give me a Tom King, a Tom Taylor.
Tim the Toolman Taylor?
I'll probably pass on him.
Okay.
Yeah, let's not.
You don't like Tim Allen?
Why are we going down this road? Yeah, no, I was there.
All right, well, okay.
Some of the guys who are kind of like rising up, I think would be a lot of fun. Or even some of the guys who are a little more the old guard, like actually off the top of my head, Grant Morrison would be amazing. Like, just please tell me what your drugs have led you to and what these stories mean.
And do you have any of those drugs I could follow? Could I try some, perhaps?
No, I think anything Grant Morrison. What's so funny is he's like this big around, but I feel like he has the tolerance of an elephant.
Fair.
He's done them all. Actually, yeah. So Grant Morrison would be a big one. Brian K. Vaughan would be really cool to get on because he's done so much stuff between like Saga and Why the Last Man and Runaways. Yeah. So you went with more
big time,
and I was more like
Hollywood.
I was like, let's get some comic guys.
They all work.
Yeah, why not? I mean, hopefully we have, like I said, hopefully there's some stuff in the future that will work out, which I'm excited for.
It would be wonderful, would not?
I don't want to spoil it. If it doesn't happen, I don't want people like, why didn't you get that? It's not my fault.
Yeah, don't disappoint me by like promising me things that won't happen.
I tried passively on Twitter. I was like, hey, you want to do this? Like, yeah, give me a second. I'm like, all right, cool.
It's been a second.
Yeah, why don't you get back to me yet?
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah. But I guess that'll do it for
what
this.
About having like Stephen King on the show.
I just read his new book that came out last week.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it. You really need to read. There's a trilogy that started with Mr. Mercedes. You really need to read those 3 books before this one, though. It's an offshoot, an unexpected offshoot. Spoiler, I guess. But I finished it last night. It really screwed with my sleep cycle.
Oh, wow. Because you had to like stay up and finish it?
Yeah, so I was up until like 1:30 last night reading.
Oh, wow.
And then I got up like which is why I didn't finish mowing my lawn this morning because I woke up too damn late.
Damn you, Stephen King.
I was like, I want to know how it ends. And usually he's bad at endings, but I like this one. Usually, like, for him, it's all about, like, the ride, and then it gets to the end, you're like, oh, man, an alien did it again.
Oh, no. Some supernatural.
But I liked this one, kind of beginning to end.
Did you ever see that?
It's dark. There's a lot of child murder and rape.
Did you ever see the ESPN This Is SportsCenter commercial where, like, they hire him to be a writer for the show for SportsCenter?
No.
And they're, like, a couple of the anchors go and critique him, like, I really like what you wrote here, but the Boston Red Sox did not win because of the mysterious green mist that overtook Fenway Park. And you probably can't say the opposing pitcher was possessed by the eternal demon.
Sure he can. Why not?
Stephen King, he's a master of horror.
Yeah, I guess that'll do it for this week.
Time to plug.
Yeah, Patreon. I'm going to try and do more stuff on Patreon. There's also some other stuff for the other show I'm going to do on Patreon coming up. I guess I don't need to be coy about it. It's in Buffy's going into its final season, so we're going to do some non-spoiler Patreon exclusive reviews as those issues come out before we do our full recap, because we usually do full arcs versus individual issues. So there's that. That'll be a Patreon exclusive.
Oh, that's cool.
Along with week to week, like top 5 comics you should pick up, and I'm doing a raffle for a 1970s Treasury edition of Batman #1.
With the Patreon, though, it's $1 to get this show a day early, and the Buffy and to get the Buffy back issue bin a whole week early.
Yeah, those are picking up again for the summer as far as release schedule, so that will have a little more reason to do that one as well.
Also, if you want to throw down 5 clams, $5 if you would, you can be a Duke of the podcast, and Sound Guy will make you your own custom sound clip.
Yeah, that we'll play. I should probably get him to do one.
Yeah, we probably need to get on that.
Yeah, I will. I'll ask. I keep forgetting to email him. It's my own fault.
Yeah, it's on you.
It is.
This poor sap is giving you...
I'm trying to push Patreon, okay?
Yeah, so you push Patreon and people
things.
like step up to the plate and Patreon you, and then you don't follow through. Asshole.
Cool, thanks. Most stuff you can find is on editorsnotecomics.com. I guess there's not a lot of news there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hey, if you want to write us a letter, editorsnotecomics@gmail.com or Facebook or Twitter. They all work. And you're on Twitter.
I am on Twitter, @JuniorRich. I was just waiting for you to say what the store is. If you want to brave the Hollowell Big Dig, swing on down to 210 Water Street in Hollowell to visit Zach in person.
Yeah, I can't wait for that crap to be done.
You're one day closer than you were yesterday.
Yes, this first half is supposed to be done by the end of June, which will be nice because then I get to have the majority of the summer with my side open.
That's a big plus.
Yeah, it is. So I got lucky in that regard.
Everyone's going to be driving by your store every day.
Compared to, there's a fence.
There is a fence. If you build it, they will come, Zach.
I mean, they built it and,
they're building it right now, yes.
But yeah, I guess we'll be back next week. Ooh, I'm excited for the next couple of weeks.
What are going on the next couple of weeks?
Look, it's entirely promotional because Fantastic Four is coming back, and pre-orders for #1 have to be in this month's order.
Are you going to make me watch the Fantastic Four movies?
Not yet.
Oh, you said yet.
I only got one of them planned.
Which one?
The worst one, because Dark Phoenix got pushed back. So I'm like, let's remember how good Fox is at movies. So we'll do it on their original release week. It's not till the fall.
Okay, well, that's some time away.
Yes, this is all going to be good stuff. Oh, yeah, I can't wait for this month. Yeah, so we're going to have a couple of weeks of Fantastic Four. Maybe you should add it to your pull list. Pre-order that.
Get on it.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. It's going to be good stuff. Oh, believe me, I have picked some gems.
Oh, I don't like how you say that.
You should, and you shouldn't.
It makes me believe that you have done no such thing for me.
I've done both.
Oh,
Which is which? You'll have to find out for yourself.
I can't
We'll be back
wait.
for that
Next week.
and the week after that, and the week after that, and then there's probably like a movie or something.
I like movies.
It's probably Ant-Man. I don't remember. I just know it's 3 weeks of Fantastic Four. We'll be back. Bye.
Wait, only 3 weeks of Fantastic Four? You
yeah.
couldn't have come up with the Fantastic 4 weeks of June? Come
What do you
on,
want?
Zach. Get your shit together.
I'm sure there's a movie or something. It's not my fault. Those aren't cheap. Stop throwing things.
They fell off the couch accidentally. You could have done the Fantastic 4 weeks of June.
I could.
Poor planning on your part. I'm disappointed
And
in
yet
you.
I didn't.
You suck.